I was gonna make a Turkish video. I was really going to make a Turkish video. I had my mindset, but I don't know why it's so difficult to switch from English to Turkish. I don't know why. It's like I have a cramp in my brain every time I try. In the last month, over 50% of the people watching this channel are from Turkey. That's crazy. I never ever expected that. It was difficult, that first video I made. It was. And that was the only video I was planning on making in Turkish. I never ever thought it would get as much attention as it did. And I mean, I want to thank you guys for taking interest in my life. It's flattering, to say the least. And yeah, I'm very, very flattered. So yeah, I wanted to make this video to talk about what it was really like to grow up in Turkey and be gay, be a lesbian. I was born in Istanbul, Turkey. I was raised there, and when I was growing up, I didn't know about being gay. That was not talked about. I never ever saw it in the media, on TV, in movies, nothing. But when I look back now, and I'm gonna show you a clip from when I was very, very young. I think I was maybe 2 or 3 in this video. And it's very, very obvious that I am fond of the same sex. And this is when I'm a kid, you know. You'll see what I mean. I was so gay. So gay. Okay, let's roll that clip.
Ne yapıyorsun Sedef?
Baya.
Kaç yaşında oldun sen?
3.
3. Biraz da büyüdün mü? 3,5 gibi oldun mu?
Evet.
Ne yapıyorsun yuvada?
Anlatma.
Anlatmaz mısın? Peki sadece öğretmenlerinin adını söyle bari.
Claire ve Sevil ve Binnur.
Peki arkadaşlarını say.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Peki senin en sevdiğin, en yakın arkadaşlarının isimlerini söylesene bana.
Sadece ben Bilge'yi sayacağım, Begüm'ü sayacağım, Cesi'yi sayacağım. O kadar. Begüm, Cesi, Bilge.
Bir tane daha say sana. Yok mu onlardan sonra bir tane daha sevdiğin en çok?
Ya.
Nedim? Nedim?
Onu sevmiyorum.
Al.
Erkekleri sevmiyorum.
Yapma ya. Neyse biraz büyüyünce seversin.
Zeynep'i de seviyorum.
Ha. Peki güzel. Biraz büyüyünce de erkek de seversin.
Hayır, hiç erkek sevmem.
Aa, yapma. Tatsız olur hayat.
Tatlı.
Tatsız olur hayat. Yalnız karılarla çekilmez. Bye bye.
Bay bay.
Bir bay bay yap bana. Yap bay bay. Bir öpücük de ver bana. Sedef Hanım. Şşt. Ne?
So as you can see there, my mom is just like, no, you need men in your life. And I'm like, no, I don't. It's funny because it's true. I never ever had, guy friends when I was growing up. Never. And my mom always says that she always had guy friends. She never had girlfriends. But I had very, very deep connections with my girlfriends, always. So when I was growing up, around my teenage years, everybody was having crushes, boyfriends, and I wanted that. I wanted to feel that excited feeling, having a crush. I wanted to date people. But even then, I didn't think that, I was a lesbian at all. Because basically when I was growing up, being a lesbian would have meant something is very wrong with me. And I was such a perfectionist. I was like an honor student. I was good at everything. I was trying my best to be the idea of perfection in my parents' eyes, in my teacher's eyes, whatever. And people were very impressed with me. And I was not ready to accept that something might be wrong with me because I'm not straight. And I didn't want to accept that. I didn't want to even think that. I wouldn't let myself think that. So I had one crush on a guy my whole life, and it was when I was like 12 maybe. He had a very feminine energy about him, which is probably why I kind of liked him. He was very, I mean, we were still children back then, you know, it was before puberty, so maybe I was like 10, 11, never mind. I mean, he wasn't a guy then, he was like a boy. And I liked his sense of humor. He made me laugh. And I liked that he had this very feminine energy about him, and I was attracted to him, and that was my one and only crush. I found that guy and I was like, okay, I have a crush on this guy. This means I'm straight and I'm good. I'm in the clear. I felt safe. Whenever like a group of girls would talk about, oh, who do you have a crush on? Who do you have a crush on? I would say, that guy. That guy. Always, always that guy for years and years. And I remember towards the end, because I went to boarding school when I was 15, so that would be grade 10. So up until grade 9, I was in Turkey. And up until grade 9, I was still saying I had a crush on him, but inside I was feeling nothing. Because after puberty, my crush died out. I didn't feel anything towards him. Plus, he was obviously not interested in me, because this one time I did something really gay. You see, when you're gay, you do have a very male aspect to you. And I did something that usually a guy would do to flirt with a girl. Basically, I wrote him a song and I put the lyrics in his locker. It was a very deep love song, and he probably wasn't expecting that because I had never ever told him that I had feelings. Ever. But it was like, I think it was called, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I think it was called Oh My Love. And I can tell you this much. If I was living in Canada then, and I wrote that for a girl, and I put that in her locker, you can bet that we would be dating after that. It was so romantic, so sweet, heartfelt. And he saw the lyrics, and he didn't say anything. And then when we had a talk, he said, that was really amazing, but I just don't feel that way about you, and I don't want to lose our friendship, so can we please stay friends? And I said, sure. And a part of me obviously was disappointed, but another part of me was okay with it. Like, it wasn't crushing. And we stayed friends, and that's it. It wasn't awkward. It was, okay, all right. I tried. Yeah, I feel like if I was straight and if I was really in love with this guy, I would have been crushed, but I wasn't. So that was the only crush on a guy I had. After that, nothing, no new crushes. I was waiting for that. I was expecting myself to have another crush. I was expecting myself to be interested in a guy. A guy once asked me out to the prom in Turkey, and I was so unenthusiastic. I said yes, but I was so just repelled by the thought of holding his hand. And he was sweet. He brought me flowers. He was being very nice. I was like, stay away from me. I went with him and I sat with him at dinner, but then I kind of ditched him and I just spent the rest of it with my girlfriends, and I was happy that way. Just didn't want him around me. No kiss, nothing. I was so grossed out. Anyway. So that was basically me growing up in Turkey. I was focused on my academics. I was being a perfectionist all the way, and that helped me a lot because after that I was able to get into a really prestigious boarding school on Vancouver Island. That is literally halfway around the world from where I grew up, and I was so happy about that. It was my escape, really. When I got out, that's when I noticed that I might be gay. It's strange because when you're surrounded by people growing up who think being gay is a bit weird, a bit wrong. You know, it's not very talked about. When you grow up in that kind of place, you don't want to be that. You know, we're social creatures. Human beings are social animals. We don't want to disappoint the people we're surrounded by. We don't want to make them, we don't want to be wrong. You know, we want to be normal. We want to fit in. We want to be like everybody else. Only in my case, I wanted to be the best version of everybody else. But that's another story. When I came to Canada and I noticed that people are very, very positive about being gay, I finally felt myself relax into my own identity. And it felt so fucking good. I felt accepted. I felt welcome. And in fact, like 5 months into my school year, I came out. It wasn't that no guy was interested in me. You know, as soon as I came to that boarding school, a guy was flirting with me. And I had no clue. I wasn't interested, you know. And he really tried. He tried. But I just wasn't giving him anything. So at one point he stopped trying. And I was relieved. In the meantime, I was having a crush on one of my teachers. But she was pregnant and in her late 20s. So that wouldn't have worked out. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is I was gay, and at this point I knew it. There was no avoiding it. And people were accepting of it. So after I came out, that guy who had a crush on me was one of the first people who messaged me saying, congratulations. Like, he was glad I figured it out because he knew something was off. After that, I moved to Toronto and I had my first girlfriend. I had my second girlfriend. And then I had my third girlfriend, which is P. It feels so good to be accepted for who you are. And it feels even better to be surrounded by other people who are gay. So if you're growing up in Turkey or any place where being gay kind of, sort of feels wrong, please don't be harsh on yourselves. You know, if you're gay and you feel bad about yourself, it's not something bad. It's not. It's actually something good. Because it's who you are. If you know you're gay, I just want to tell you, congratulations. You know who you are. And that's more important than anything. It's more important than people accepting you. Don't lose yourselves in a culture that doesn't accept you. Because who you are is very precious. You need to hold on to that, even if people want you to change. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'm really sorry that I couldn't make this video in Turkish. I really truly wanted to, but I'll make sure to have my mom add Turkish subtitles as soon as possible.